guys, welcome back to another video. Today's going to be a little bit of a shorter one just because there's not a lot of riff we can go over, but it will be the new Greta Van Fleet Riff that I featured yesterday in my latest video, and it was also featured, for those of you wondering, in the Gibson Jake Kiska Signature SG video. Right after he says I play guitar for Greta Van Fleet, that's where this riff starts, if anybody's wondering. Before I get into anything, I do want to let you guys know, please leave a like and subscribe on the channel. It really does help things out, and I really want to keep growing this platform and get out to as many people possible. So every time you hit that subscribe button or you hit that like button, it really helps the channel out. I also want to say that this is not going to be something for Patreon, but most times I do lessons for Patreon, and that's, you know, a monthly subscription service where you get access to all full lessons on all the Greta Van Fleet content that I've done, as well as other stuff like Dirty Honey and a few other bands that I have in there. And with that, I've also got my PayPal that I'll link down below in case you are not interested in Patreon but you still want to make a contribution. That's also much appreciated. And for anybody interested in private Zoom lessons, I've also got a few spots available for that. So feel free, send me a message on Instagram and I will try and book you in for some private Zoom lessons. Alright, without any further ado, let's get into the actual lesson portion. The tuning here is going to be really crucial because if you don't have the right tuning, you're not going to be able to do it. So it's a very odd tuning, to the point where you can play open strings and it'll sound good. So bottom or top string C, and that's sharp. So C, G, and that's also sharp. C, G, C, G, G, and C. So that's your tuning. C, G, C, G, G, C. Now once you've got that tuned, for my tone settings, I have my treble pickup or my bridge pickup, volume at 10, tone at 6 or 7-ish. I'm using the Ibanez Tube Screamer pedal here, with the drive on all the way down and the level is all the way up and my tone is right in the middle. And then on my amp, I'm on a clean setting. So if you've got one of these Tube Screamers, you're only going to want to use a clean setting on your amp because you don't want a ton of gain. And on my amp, my bass knob is all the way up and my middle knob is all the way up and my treble is just past half, and that's how I play it, with a little bit of reverb as well, of course. So obviously these settings are going to differ between different amps, so play around with it, but absolutely the bass needs to be up, because that's how Jake does his tone, and you also have to have your middle somewhere past half, otherwise it's going to be too enclosed, the tone. You're not going to be able to get enough treble out of it to get his tone. Obviously it's not going to be super true to it right now either because I have my amp turned down, and when your amp volume is lower, it typically the tone doesn't show through as well. So, but yeah, for the purpose of the video, volume's lower and we are just operating on these tone settings. So the riff is not super long, but the timing is crazy difficult. I'm gonna be honest, it took me a long time to figure out this timing. So so to start off with, it's 5th fret D string and 3rd fret G string, and you're just going to take your second finger and you're muting that A string. What would be your A string? It's a G. You have to make sure it's muted, otherwise it's not going to sound right when you slide up. So you're playing 5th and 3rd D and G, and then essentially everything else around that other than your A string is being played open. So down, up, down, up. So this next part, you slide back down, and again, same spacing, 5th and 3rd. So you play the, and now you're playing your A string. You pull your finger off and you're playing it. And your right hand's going down, down, up. And your left hand is pulling off that 3rd fret on the G string. So, right? So. up, and you're going to be going 2nd fret G to 3rd fret G to open G. And then on the preceding 2 upstrokes, it's going to be your bottom 2 strings, and then back on your 3rd fret of your G string. So, and this is where the timing is really difficult, because before that you'd think it's in 3, right? 1, 2. Right, it sounds like it's in 3, but then the timing changes here a little bit, and I can't quite put my foot on it, what time signature changes to, so I can't speak to that in this tutorial video. But essentially what happens is it's a very quick turnover of the timing. So you're going to play this twice, and on the second time, after you go back, and when you play it the second time, you're going to slide back up to this position. So I know this may be a little unclear, but it's really hard to put the timing change into words. So I'm just trying to play it as slow as I can, so that you guys can try and hear it for what it is, rather than, you know, explain it, because I quite frankly haven't figured out the time change myself. I just know it by listening to it. So and then when you slide back up, you're going to play your bottom strings again. So bottom strings, and then top string, back to bottom strings. Down, up, down, up. And I think that happens 3 times. So, right, so 1, 2, 3, and then, so going back into this, I'll play the whole thing a little bit slower here. So here it's just a pretty simple pull-off lick. 3rd fret G, 5th fret G, and then you pull off all of them. Right? And then D string now, 5th fret, 3rd fret, open D. So, and then once you finish that part, it's 3rd fret A and 5th fret D. So it's like a regular power chord now. And then that timing, you only stay there for down, up. So down, up, and then slide back up to here. So. That's essentially the riff from what I could hear. Once he goes out of this part, he kind of starts talking, and you know, obviously talking about the guitar that they're presenting and giving his history and his opinion on it and how he grew to like that guitar. So yeah, really cool video, but the talking is over top of the guitar and the guitar part is inaudible. So I didn't try and go super deep into that, just because I want to be able to do it justice, and I felt like I wouldn't if I were trying to hear it through his voice. So I'll play this lick one more time slowly for you guys. I know it's going to be hard. If you're frustrated with the timing, please be patient with yourself, because this took me a good amount of time to learn it, and normally I'm able to pick things up fairly quickly. So this one definitely gave me a challenge, and it's hard when there's no song for reference for that timing. So I'll slow it down. If you guys need, use this slowed down portion just to try and get that timing. And what I'd recommend is have your video volume up and your guitar volume down all the way, so that you're just, so that you can hear yourself playing with my slowed down version, and then eventually you'll get that timing down. So I'll play a slowed down version right now. And that about sums up the riff. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, it really does help the channel if you leave a like and you subscribe. We're on the road to 100,000 followers. I want to get that silver play button, and I want you guys to be along for the ride for it. You know, it's a big goal of mine. We've been going for about 4 years now. So if we can hopefully get there by the end of this year, that would be amazing. And you know, we're coming up on almost 1 million channel views, so I've got really big goals for this year, and it would be awesome if you guys left a like, subscribe to the channel. It really does help it out, and we've got some big goals to accomplish this year. So any little bit helps. Again, thank you for watching the video. There's the Patreon, the private Zoom lessons. If any of you guys are interested, feel free, reach out on Instagram. I'll leave that link down below as well. And until next time, guys, keep on rocking.